In this episode, we're talking about income streams. And yes, more or less passive income, but I think there's a better way. We're going to talk about it in this episode.
I'm feeling like a brand new me. For the very first time, I'm where I'm meant to be. Brand new.
Welcome to Outsmart the Hustle, where we turn hard work into smart work, helping you focus on the high impact moves that drive your business forward without getting stuck in the grind. Passive income, passive income. We hear about it a lot. And, yes, you could make a LUT and you could hope that people buy it. I've definitely tried to do that, but it's not always the most successful source of income because you might sell it for 7, 14, maybe $20. And how many of those sales would you have to make for that to be a successful passive income stream, right? We really dream about passive income as business owners and being like, okay, yay, I never have to work a day in a life again. But that's just not realistic. I mean, imagine yourself if you did have all the income in the world and you'd be going out and doing vacationing and stuff, it's going to get bored after a while. That's just the pattern that we've seen. Like people have been there, done that, and then what, right? There's always the and then what. So I feel like there's a way to get purpose still through the work that you do while making it less stressful on you. I think the biggest thing we're trying to find is a way to make income, finding income less stressful on us, right? How to be efficient, how to, have systems and processes to do the thing right. And my biggest thing this year was figuring out recurring income streams, not just passive income, but in a way that, you can still actively work. Maybe not as hard, but you're being smart about contracts and recurring revenue. So in the wedding industry, I see a lot of this coming from social media content. So what I've done is I've spoken to planners and I'm like, hey, I love your work. I love the couples that you work with and the types of events that you put on. And I'd love to shadow you at one of your weddings and essentially just make behind the scenes content, like from the start of the day to the very end of the day. It is a very long day and I do it for free, but I'm able to get content for them. And then they post that content and tag me. But then also you could actually pitch to the other vendors that are there, ask them if they want a reel for like $300 and then just kind of go from there and build relationships as you're doing this and be known as a vendor who makes really good behind the scenes work. I mean, go out all out on it. This is what's really helped me is making behind the scenes content for planners. And it's really like a cool little side gig on top of your wedding gig because you can make the social media stuff, but you could be making an additional $1,200 to $1,500 per wedding just by doing social media content if you have enough shooters there with you. Like I have 3 shooters total typically on wedding days. So while my other 2 shooters are doing things, I could also help do BTS content for some of the vendors. And it really only takes a couple of minutes, you guys. It's the editing that takes a little bit longer. But you're showing the vendors, hey, I see you, I care about the work you're doing, and you're going through the team effort route. I have worked with some videographers in the past who didn't care to get the room reveal. They're like, oh yeah, I won't use that in the film. I'm like, okay, but the wedding planner could certainly use it. So why not capture that? So when I think of being a team player, I mean think about what then their other vendors could benefit from, capture it, leverage it, and be like, hey, I can make this for you. I'm going to charge this much to create it. See if they'd like it. Never say people's no for them. And if they're expecting you to do that for free for them, just ignore, move on. Because I think people who know that's it's like a give and a take, right? Yes, you're spending your time filming a thing, they could totally pay you for it. Anyway, so yeah, I think that some sort of monthly content package or something like that would be awesome. And as far as getting people on a retainer working with you, you just have to pitch it to them. So you make a contract and you're like, this is what it could look like. This is how much you'd pay a month. You'd get X, Y, and Z for this. What do you say? And you kind of customize it until they're happy with it. Then you lock them in. So you just first initially get them started. And you could do this with vendors at first. But it's a great way to just have some extra income, especially when it's a slower month for you. Be like, hey, what vendors have amazing weddings that I really enjoy working with that might want some content? And then pitch to the other vendors who are also working that same wedding. that's something that I've done that's been really successful. And then as far as just like the passive income, like yes, I do teach, I do have a course, but it's not my highest stream of income. Teaching truly is giving back. Like, I don't think that there's a ton of money in education, but I love to teach and do that. And so after being like doing this for 10 years, I've just been, like, hey, how can I teach? Like, I have enough people asking me to pick my brain over a coffee that I'm like, yeah, I should probably start a course. But yeah, education is part of that, but I don't feel like that everyone should try to go towards education because I think there's a lot of like educators out there that say they make hundreds of $1,000s from education, and that's great for them and all, but you really do have to focus on just the education portion. So unless you're kind of on your way out, like I wouldn't really worry about education and stuff. Or you're significantly planning to reduce the amount of work you currently do. Because I'm trying to do like 5 weddings a year and keep it at that. And then my team fulfills the rest. And so it's not like a main thing for me still. Like I'm running another corporate business on top of that, and that's kind of my main thing is to build a corporate business here where I live in Dallas, Texas, and then have that be kind of primarily running on its own while I'm raising a family. Like that's on my own life goals. Doesn't mean like that's yours, right? But you need to figure out like where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? And does it make sense to do as much work as you're currently doing? And how are you diversifying it? Now, there's like a balance, right, between working a lot or diversifying your basket a lot, but like not being really proficient in anything. So, I'm not telling you to be a jack of all trades, master of nothing, but to really find the things that would help you in your business to help diversify it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be in the videography, photography space. I mean, like, if that's your special trade, that's your skill, I'm a big advocate to find things using your skill and do that. But if it's like you have a side thing you really enjoy doing, like there was someone I met in our course that really enjoys designing cabinetry. And I'm like, that's a unique skill. I definitely don't have that skill, but that's great for them. And they're still doing weddings. So I'm like, that's great. It's wise if you're someone who's like, I can't book the amount of weddings I want to and stay busy enough. Plus, I have a family and I want to like be able to be here for them while doing weddings, that's pretty smart. And everyone has their own way of going about life and making a living for themselves. So I don't want it, I don't want this podcast to be like, yeah, this is the way to do it. It's like we all just write our own paths, right? In this. So yeah, I feel like that templates and presets, I wouldn't go that route, honestly, unless you're trying to be an educator. Someday, don't worry about it too much. There's a difference between being like an influencer and turning that into a business. Um, but I really do see that content creation will never die. Businesses always need it. So if you're someone who's in the photography, videography space, that is like a great way to segue into that because my corporate business does a lot of social media content and management. And it's like whole thing. Like companies are paying my company on a year to a 2-year basis to manage and create their social media content. That's pretty cool. For example, like there's $40,000 retainers that you can have from year to year, depending on how much that they want. And if you want to learn more about this, I mean, honestly, you should just email or DM me about it because I know I talk to wedding professionals primarily on this podcast. But yeah, I mean, like it's a really good way to diversify your income stream and to have something consistent to constantly be doing. I think that I can hear like the fear from some people that I know being like, oh my gosh, how would I have time to do all of that? Hire an assistant, hire an admin. It is the best way to manage projects. Like if you know that you're someone who is not organized or just like struggles with keeping things like you need a project manager, you need an admin or someone that can stay to date with client work and just make sure that things and deadlines get done. So yeah, that's really it. That's all I got. So yeah, digital products, meh. But offering a service that provides a lot of value, great. And it doesn't always have to be in weddings. Like, I wonder how many of y'all actually work with your couples after the wedding. Like, do you know what your couples do for a living? It would be really cool that if you turned it into more of a networking opportunity rather than just being like, okay, they're a couple, one and done. It's like, okay, one of my brides is a real estate agent. Look at that. We've had some brides that are like in medical school and they're getting their doctorates, so they're nowhere near getting to work with that. But you never know what they might do. Like one of them is a pilot. We got some that are lawyers, but they may not need us personally, but what if their company did? And so by having a corporate company, I'm actually able to have them refer us, and that's how they know us. And I think that like if you guys take this as an opportunity to build a life-term partnership with a couple rather than a one film your wedding once and done, that could go so far. Like a lot of my brides from when did I start this? I started shooting weddings in 2019 and I still talk to them. Like there was one bride that messaged me on Facebook and it was like 2021, I think we photographed her wedding. And she's like, hey, I lost the link. I need this. And I'm like, here you go. It's like they still talk to me, not just because they need stuff for their weddings, but like there's some I follow, they've had babies and you just keep messaging them, right? It's a long-term strategy, but it's also just being human, being kind, because you helped that story begin. You were the one who documented it, right? I don't know, it's not FOMO or anything. I just like to be like, okay, how are they doing? It's been a while. It's been 3 years. I wonder how these people are doing. And something about that's just like really sweet. Just being a person that offers a good service and can reconnect with people that you've worked with in the past. There's nothing weird about that. So yeah, I think there's lots of ways to keep making income in our industry, and it doesn't have to be just weddings. I'm in that boat. I'm not like the purist of like, oh, if you do weddings, you should only do weddings. I really think that you can be creative and find other ways with your skills and your talents because you're very skilled and you are very talented as creative to make new money from that skill. So good luck out there. And if you have any other ideas that you want to share, drop it in the comments for people to see. I want to know like how are you guys making money outside of weddings? This is actually a topic I feel like we don't talk about enough because we're supposed to, in theory, make all our money from weddings. I don't think that there is any shame if you don't make all your money from weddings. In fact, you're a genius for doing that. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
I'ma tell everybody I'm feeling like a brand new me. Brand new, brand new. Feeling like a brand new me.
Outsmart the Hustle is produced by Booked by Strategy, a film business course. Follow us at Booked by Strategy literally anywhere for more creative business tips and freebies, and check out the course and live workshop that happens every year at www.bookedbystrategy.com.